Hello everyone, welcome back to the QAB Box channel. So in this session today we are going to see why string is immutable in Java. Okay, so you might be getting this question in most of your interviews, or maybe in your casual discussions we might be getting this question that why is Java string immutable. So there are a couple of reasons that the Java is made intentionally immutable. Now, what is the meaning of immutable? So immutable is something where we cannot change the value of a string. So that seems very strange, right? Like I can have string str1 equal to QAB box, and then I can change that to str1 equal to QA validation. So let's say that now here I can go ahead and change this one to QA validation or to something else, right? I can do that. Now, why is we are saying that immutable means we cannot change the value of a particular string? So let me explain you that. So for this, let's say that I have two strings, right? One is str1 and str2. Here both are having the same value. So it means that in a layman conception, we will think that there is a stack memory in the Java which is holding the variables, right, the str1 and str2, and then there is a heap space. So it's basically a space where all the objects will be stored. So there actually, so this string object which is QAB box, and this is QAB box because I have mentioned str2 equal to QAB box. So let's say that this QAB box for the string 1 is 400 as the address reference, and the string 2 is referring to a QAB box string object whose address is 500. Now in reality this is not happening actually. Now what exactly happens is that when you create like these two variables with the same string, what exactly Java does, Java first will go to a string pool actually. So here is my string pool. So that will be present inside your the heap space, where it will first check in that heap space that are there any string that is already available. So it means that when I'm saying str1 equal to QAB box, first time the string pool, in the string pool, Java will check whether there is a QAB box is there or not there. So let's say that there is no QAB box. So it will create a value as in the memory as QAB box. Let's say the address is 400. Now when I'm adding str2 equal to QAB box, it will not create another space because inside the string pool there is already a QAB box. So rather than it will be creating a new QAB box, what it will do, it will go and redirect or reference this string 2 into this QAB box. Okay, so like this it will be doing that. Now the question is coming that we cannot change the value, right? So what happens when I do str1 equal to QA validation? So the Java will not actually change the value of this one QAB box because this is immutable. It will not change the QAB box to QA validation. Rather it will check inside the string pool if there is any other value as QA validation. So there is nothing, right? So it will repeat the process. So what it will do, it will create another memory on your heap space or inside the string pool. Probably the address could be like, let's say that 670 or something. Now that's how it will be creating another pool actually inside this. So now what will happen, this string 1 will now no longer will point to this particular address or this QAB box. Rather what it will do, it will come and redirect to here, this QA validation. So that is something called as immutable. It means that this value, whatever it is there, we cannot change it. It is final. So the Java string class is always final. We cannot change the value of this particular value. Of this particular object. But when you want to change the value of that variable, that is nothing but str1, it will create another space onto the heap space where the value will be altered to QA validation with a different address. So that is what it will be doing there. So now what is the benefit of doing this? Now one benefit is that it will save lot of your space. Now for demo purpose I have given this as QAB box, right? But think about in a big scale applications where you will have a huge amount of string. Let's say that you have a file, okay, which is like more than 10 MB or 20 MB. Now the file content will be treated as your strings, right? Now, so in that case, if multiple strings or multiple resources or the variables, if they are accessing to the same string, if we are not creating multiple spaces there, rather we are redirecting to one location, I think that's where we are saving lot of space. Now when we are changing that to something else, we won't be changing actually to this original, because see the problem will happen. Let's say I'm changing str1 equal to QA validation, right? If let's say that the Java is mutable, means this QAV box will change to QA validation, and now all other string variables which is referring to this, now that also will get changed, right? Which is not intentional. So it means that just to save space, you are doing this string pool concept, right? Now at the same time, I cannot make it as mutable. So to save space, I'm making it as a string pool where one memory can be referenced by many of the variables. At the same time, I'm making it immutable so that I can save the state of all other string variables. So when I'm changing something to this variable, then it will be pointing to a different location, so that all of these variables will not change its value automatically. So one benefit is that it saves a lot of memory. The second thing is that is security. Now one example, let's say that I'm making this particular str1 as, let's say that normal user privilege, like in our application we have user and admin privileges, right? So think about, I'm making this string 1 and string 2 as let's say user, actually here, like they will get the user access. For some reason, let's say that I'm hacking this system and I'm changing this string 1 to admin. Now what will happen? All of these string variables, whatever it is there, now they will get the the features of the admin. So which is not a good sign, right? Okay, just to prove both of these strings, if the value is same, then how it is referring to one object, let me do one thing here. So before to this, I will print one thing. So here I will say system dot identity has code, which will give me the unique object or unique ID of a particular object. So here I'm making it as str1, and at the same time I'm making the str2. Now let's see what exactly it prints here. Now if I run this one, as you can see, both are referring to one identity has code only. It means that the value is same. But let's say that I am going to change this str1 to Q validation, right? Now let me print it after altering the value. Now let's say that I'm making it as a string 1, and then I will be printing the same thing only. Now as you can see, the identity has code got changed. It means that the reference for the str1 now gets changed. So as long as both of these values were same, it was referring to one identity code only. But when I'm changed the value, so that's where it is referring to another identity has code. So in reality, so Java doesn't allow to print you the address of those objects. It's for security reasons, you cannot really print it. Even this identity has codes are not always correct. Actually, it is still in experimental phase, but then for demo purpose I can show you, and however you can see that the identity has code changes when you change the value. Another example I can show you here is that, so think about now str1 equal to QAB box, right? Now I'm going to change, or let's say I want to concat this one to something else. Let's say that QAB box hello. Let's say that is something I'm doing here. Now in this case, if I'm going to print this one, this str1, and in this case let me just comment these two things. Now here if I print this one, and now as you can see, it still stays as, forget about these two things. Now the str1 was QAB box, right? And after that I'm concatenating with hello actually, but still it is printing me the QAB box only. The reason is that when I'm saying string 1, it is referring to this one actually. So basically concat should change the value of string 1 to whatever appending, right? It is not doing that because Java string doesn't allow to change the actual value of that. But when I will do this one, str1 equal to this one, like if I say like this, str1 equal to this one, now what will happen in this case? This will now change it, and you can see it gets changed. Now the thing is that now I'm creating a new value. Now this QAV box hello will be printed somewhere here. So let's say now the QAV box and hello will be created in my string pool because there is no other strings are there. Now in this case what will happen, this string 1 will now refer to here because I'm making an equal to here. So it means that the value actually I cannot change it. Okay, so now another thing, let's say that you want to make this string as mutable for some reason. Yes, still you can do that. So you can use this string buffer. So let me show you that. So in this case, what I'm going to do, I will not be printing all these things. Let's just make all these things as commented. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I will take all these things and let's say instead of string, I will make it as a string buffer, everything. Now see, the both values are same actually here. So I'm making two string buffer here, str1 and str2, but the value is same here. Now let me print this one. And now as you can see, the values are different. It means that the string buffer is not an immutable. It means that every string, whether the value is same or not, it will not depend on the string pool actually. So basically for each of the value that you are creating, it will be taking a new memory in your memory allocation, okay, or in your heap space. Now here what I can do, now let's say that string 1 dot, if let's say that I want to append, so there is no concat method here available, but append method is there. Let's say that I want to do hello here hello I'm doing. Now I want to print this one actually here. So let's say I want to print this str1. See, when it was a string, it wasn't allowing us, right? When we did this one, str1 equal to str1 dot concat, it was printing, when I was just executing this string 1 dot concat, it wasn't printing QAB box hello actually because it is immutable. But because this is immutable, you see that without assigning the str1, it will print me that. It means that the QAB box, whatever it is created in that heap space, right, it will change that to whatever value I am appending there. So because it is mutable. So immutable, now at least we understood why is Java is making is immutable. The big reason is that to save space, it is using the string pool. Now if it will make it as mutable, along with your space memory utilization, better space memory utilization, then all other variables will now get changed. That's the reason they are making it as immutable, and also for security reasons, so that no one can come and then change the value. Now if they want to change the value, what will happen? It will come and create a new space. So that's how the others will not be impacted there. Okay, so hope you guys understood this concept. And then along with your string buffer, there is something called as string builder. So you can use this string builder and string buffer if you want the mutable, and if you want to make it as immutable, which is the recommended one, that is the normal string, you can use it. Okay, so hope you guys got an idea about this Java Immutable and the benefit of that. So stay tuned and do subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.